Chapter 1051, Breaking Through to the Mystic Light Realm, 3. Heaven and earth shook around the forbidden grounds at the back of the Hall of Gods as a three-colored divine light formed. It lit up the air and started to slowly form a three-colored whirlpool of blue, green, and red. The demonic dower spread by the three from Nine Darkness Palace was instantly pushed aside by this dominant force. The three-colored sacred light then started to expand and cover the skies. The center of the whirlpool seemed to be an endless hole that absorbed all the heaven-earth yuan-chi within several dozen thousand miles. At this moment, close to 10 forces of different size were gathered in the Hall of Gods, including Nine Darkness Palace, their forces, and the Hall of Gods' subordinate forces. Master is about to become a sacred lord. Bai Kuang-Yue's heart shook. Zhao Feng is about to become a sacred lord as well now. Supreme Emperor Dark Knight exclaimed and then sighed. What kind of level would Zhao Feng lead the Hall of Gods to after he broke through? What a terrifying pressure of heaven and earth. Sacred Lord Dark Ghost's heart jumped. He was a sacred lord, but he was frightened by the force of someone merely trying to break through to the mystic light realm. This is interesting. Nan Gongsheng, who was currently hiding nearby, revealed a wicked smile. Whoosh. Bai Kuang-Yue and Supreme Emperor Dark Knight flew outside with grim expressions. Elder Demonic Abyss, Nine Darkness Palace has no evidence, but you're going to forcefully blame it on other forces? Bai Kuang-Yue felt it hard to breathe against Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss and company but still managed to speak. Supreme Emperor Dark Knight, Emperor Withered Shadow, and she were in charge of setting up the assassination missions. Zhao Feng had put the Dark Heart seal in all three of them, so they couldn't betray Zhao Feng unless Nine Darkness Palace captured them and searched their souls. Furthermore, Sacred Dr. Jade Spirit was also within the forbidden grounds. Nine Darkness Palace didn't dare to capture her or else they would offend even more forces. Then why are all these missions set up in the Silence Assassination Division? Sacred Lord Evil Caster questioned. There are also assassinations targeting Nine Darkness Palace in Black Screen Corner. Supreme Emperor Dark Knight said. Back when he and Zhao Feng had been discussing actions, they expected this, which was one of the other reasons they set up a small amount of assassination missions in Black Screen Corner. Humph, Nine Darkness Palace will obviously take out evidence. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss snickered coldly as black clouds formed in the air behind him. They seemed to turn into a desolate beast that gave off a forceful power. There would be evidence as long as he captured Bai Kuang-Yue and Supreme Emperor Dark Knight. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss, what are you doing? Duke Ninfeng instantly flew out from within the hall, and all the experts and forces within the hall appeared outside. Duke Ninfeng. You again. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss eyebrows furrowed, but he still circulated his mystic light sacred power. There were no signs of him stopping. Because of Duke Ninfeng, he wasted time when trying to kill the forces of the Ocean Smoke Pavilion, which allowed the Sky Sword Pavilion to arrive and force him away. Duke Ninfeng had appeared to interfere with him once again. Duke Ninfeng, Nine Darkness Palace won't be responsible if we accidentally injure you. Sacred Lord Wicked Truth, with his red hair and black robes, stood behind Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss with a cold expression. Sacred Lord Wicked Truth didn't even bother looking at all the other small forces apart from Duke Ninfeng. A powerful mental energy aura suddenly appeared behind Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss, are you here to cause trouble in Yu Province? Sacred Lord Star Demon's voice sounded. Whoosh. Whoosh. Sacred Lord Star Demon and two quasi-Sacred Lord experts arrived beside Bai Kuang-Yue. Sacred Lord Star Demon's pair of dark purple eyes looked at Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss with a deep expression. He didn't expect Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss and two early-stage Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lord experts to come all the way from Nine Darkness Palace. Sacred Lord Star Demon, are you sure the Ji family wants to involve themselves in this matter? Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss' gaze was cold as he looked at Sacred Lord Star Demon. This is Yu Province, and little friend Zhao Feng is the Ji family's esteemed guest. Sacred Lord Star Demon said despite the invisible pressure. Although Sacred Lord Star Demon was only at the initial stages of the Mystic Light Realm, his soul intent was incredibly strong, and he had the battle power of an early-stage Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lord with his profound soul-eye bloodline techniques. However, even though the enemy didn't specialize in mental energy, the mental energy wave that came from Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss still made Sacred Lord Star Demon's soul shake. Looks like the Ji family wants to go down the path of the Duanmu family. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss cold voice sounded as a demonic power spread. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss wasn't worried because of Sacred Lord Star Demon's arrival because he was the only Sacred Lord that had come from the G family. It wouldn't really affect their plan. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss would even be able to use this reason to trouble the G family in the future after finishing off the Hall of Gods. Sacred Lord Star Demon's expression froze for a little bit. In the past, the Duanmu family offended Nine Darkness Palace, and 2 of their Sacred Lords were killed by Nine Darkness Palace. This was why they had become so much weaker. You two, stop Duke Ninfeng, the G family, and the others, Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss messaged. The current battle power of the Hall of Gods wasn't enough to stop Nine Darkness Palaces. Whoosh! The 3 Sacred Lords of Nine Darkness Palace instantly took action, and a surge of terrifying demonic aura instantly covered the Hall of Gods. All of the spectators with low cultivations immediately retreated. Even Bai Kuang Yue retreated far away because she knew that, once Nine Darkness Palace performed a soul search on her, they would be able to destroy the Hall of Gods righteously. Whoosh! Whoosh! Sacred Lord Evil Caster and Sacred Lord Wicked Truth charged toward Sacred Lord Star Demon and Duke Ninfeng. The forces that arrived at the Hall of Gods earlier, such as Sacred Lord Dark Ghost and the Grand Elder of the Black Radiant Clan, immediately stopped Supreme Emperor Dark Knight, Old Monster Shu, and the upper battle powers of the Hall of Gods. Hu tilde. The unstoppable Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss flew straight toward the forbidden grounds at the back of the Hall of Gods. As Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss was about to approach the building that Zhao Feng was staying in. Wang boom! A mountain suddenly exploded as a purple and blood-colored wicked light shot into the sky. A wicked purple and blood-colored flower also flashed in the air as a terrifying evil power exploded and charged toward Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss. This sudden evil power made the nearby quasi-sacred lords and sacred lords tremble and start to panic. Who? A youth with purple and blood-colored hair and covered in similarly colored flower tattoos blocked Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss path with a flash of silver light. Nangongsheng. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss exclaimed as fury burned within him. Nine Darkness Palace had sent 2 upper echelon members to the True Martial Sacred Land to capture Nangongsheng, but they were scared back by the legendary demigod Kun Yuan. Nine Darkness Palace wouldn't have caused trouble for Nangongsheng anymore if he just stayed in the True Martial Sacred Land, but now Nangongsheng had appeared in the Hall of Gods in the Continent Zone. Nangongsheng is here. Sacred Lord Wicked Truth's eyes turned red as his red hair blew in the wind. He had gone to the True Martial Sacred Land to capture Nangongsheng but was scared away by Kun Yuan. That's good. Today, the purple-haired demonic duo shall both be killed. Black mystic light sacred power circulated through Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss body, and the black light around him suddenly started to spread like tentacles with intelligence. The terrifying pressure of the demonic Tao was like an enraged ancient beast. As if sensing the fierce battle in the outside world, the speed of the 3-colored whirlpools spinning in the sky started to increase. The yuan qi in the bodies of all the experts below started to disappear. Wang boom! Boom! A forbidden aura that could suppress heaven and earth appeared from the 3-colored whirlpool. The winds howled as the clouds blew. Wang tilde. 3 condensed beams of sacred light within the large 3-colored whirlpool suddenly descended onto a certain mountain peak. Yuan qi in every direction seemed to be directed toward a certain place and gathered toward the 3 beams of sacred light. His sacred power whirlpool has successfully connected. No. We can't let Zhao Feng break through. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss leapt out from the side of the explosion and sped toward where the 3-colored sacred light descended. Zhao Feng was at the last moment of his breakthrough. Evil Devil Claw. Nangongsheng extended his right arm, and the flower on his arm started to spread into limitless branches and leaves that finally formed a giant claw and ripped through the air. Nangongsheng, fuck off. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss roared as countless black tentacles appeared and attacked Nangongsheng. Boom. 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 The 2 forces of evil clashed. The forbidden power contained within them was enough to devour anything and everything. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss footsteps paused for a moment. He didn't expect Nangongsheng to improve so quickly. He was now able to fight back against a late-stage mystic light realm with the power of the evil god. Of course, if Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss attacked with his full power, Nangongsheng would definitely lose, but stopping Zhao Feng from breaking through to the mystic light realm was the most important matter right now. Once Zhao Feng broke through, he would be able to turn the tide with his terrifying power. In addition, if Zhao Feng still really had a god-slaying arrow, then Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss himself would be in danger. When thinking up to here, Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss used a secret technique, and the tentacles turned into a barrier that guarded him. Whoosh! Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss decided to not bother with Nan Gongsheng and just finish Zhao Feng off first. Don't even think about it. Nan Gongsheng's eyes turned dark purple, and a blood-colored flower seemed to appear. I'll leave the rest to you. Nan Gongsheng prayed. Kek, let me play with you. Nan Gongsheng's voice suddenly changed as the purple and blood-colored power of the evil god started to become active. A purple and blood-colored light instantly shot toward Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss. Boom. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss was pushed back a few steps, and the black barrier around him completely shattered. The power of a god. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss was stunned as he locked eyes with Nan Gongsheng. Although there was only a wisp of the evil god's power within the mystic light sacred power, it was enough to completely change the power. Looks like the evil thought has taken over his body. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss started to think. After the evil thought took over Nan Gongsheng's body, it would use his power uncontrollably. Humph, no one can stop me. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss' expression was cold as he completely circulated his demonic Tao mystic light sacred power. At the same time, a black whirlpool appeared behind Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss, and a black figure jumped out. Boom. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss charged directly at Nan Gongsheng after summoning his clone. Countless tentacles shot through space. The fierce battle made everyone else in the Hall of Gods retreat. Whoosh. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss clone laughed evilly as it sped toward Zhao Feng, who was sitting within the building at the top of the mountain. This clone had 60% of Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss strength and was even stronger than normal early-stage Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lords. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss also laughed coldly. Nan Gongsheng had now lost his mind and only existed to fight. He wouldn't catch on to any details. With no one guarding Zhao Feng, he would certainly die. Zhao Feng, die. A demonic tentacle extended out from the back of Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss clone and stabbed straight through the defensive array toward Zhao Feng's head. Zhao Feng was being cleansed by the sacred power of heaven and earth. He felt the danger appear, but he wasn't able to move nor use any part of his true yuan or the sacred power. If he did so, it would destroy the sacred power whirlpool. Just as the attack from Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss clone was about to pierce through Zhao Feng's head, Zhao Feng's left eye on his slightly angered face suddenly opened. Chapter 1052, Fighting Demonic Abyss. The little thieving cat's head appeared in a corner of the hall where Zhao Feng was in seclusion. When Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss clone attacked, the little thieving cat was about to take action, but it was stopped by Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng, who was bathed in three-colored sacred light, suddenly opened his left eye. Wang tilde. At this instant, countless golden ripples spread from Zhao Feng's left eye. Wang. 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 Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss clone was pierced through dozens of thousands of times by this golden light. Hu tilde. The dark clone suddenly turned into small atoms and became a layer of black mist that was absorbed into Zhao Feng's left eye. Zhao Feng's expression then calmed down as he continued to absorb the last of the sacred power that heaven and earth was giving him. The moment the sacred power within his body connected to the sacred power whirlpool in the sky, his left eye had changed. The mysterious golden ball in the dimension of his left eye seemed to feel something and suddenly started to spin, giving off layers of mysterious golden light. Normally, if Zhao Feng used so much light of dispersion at once, his eye intent wouldn't have been able to sustain it, but there were no signs of that happening right now. The golden ripples instinctively radiated without stopping. Apart from the mysterious golden ball, only the demigod head containing the last bit of God Tribulation lightning existed in the dimension of his god's eye. A twisting black matter had appeared out of nowhere above the mysterious golden ball next to the demigod head. Wang. Wang. Surges of desolate aura from the center of the mysterious golden ball started to gather toward the dark light. When Zhao Feng opened his left eye, the golden ripples of light radiating from the mysterious golden ball were reflected into the outside world onto the clone. This meant that Zhao Feng hadn't used any of his own power at all. All of it came from the left eye itself, which had just evolved. What Zhao Feng didn't expect was that, after his light of dispersion destroyed Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss clone, the mysterious golden ball absorbed the power from that clone into the dimension of his left eye, and the energy started to merge into the twisting black matter in the air. After Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss clone was destroyed, the three-colored light in the air above Zhao Feng started to dim. Boom. 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 Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss, who was still fighting against Nan Gongsheng in the air above the Hall of Gods, suddenly froze and looked downward. My Nine Darkness clone. The veins on Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss face popped out as he roared. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss had spent countless resources and effort on that clone. It was extremely hard to cultivate, and it was one of the supreme clone secret techniques of Nine Darkness Sacred Scroll. However, his clone was completely destroyed by the golden light that shot out of Zhao Feng's left eye. How is this possible? Wasn't he at the last stage of trying to break through? How can he still use other powers? Sacred Lord Evil Caster's heart shook. What just happened defied logic. On top of that, his power instantly destroyed Elder Demonic Abyss clone. Sacred Lord Wicked Truth looked at Zhao Feng, and fear sprouted in his heart. Even he didn't understand the golden ripples that shot out of Zhao Feng's left eye. Zhao Feng, Duke Nanfeng, Sacred Lord Star Demon, and company were stunned. They couldn't understand what just happened either. That golden ripple passed through both the physical and soul dimensions. Purple golden light flashed through Sacred Lord Star Demon's eyes. This was the second time he had witnessed this skill, but he was still completely stunned and confused. Who tilde? At the same time, the speed of the spinning three-colored light in the sky started to slow down, and the last bit of three-colored sacred power descended into Zhao Feng's body. Wang tilde zzzzzzz. The three-colored sacred power within Zhao Feng's body started to spin in a weird manner, and a dark yellow color suddenly appeared. Zhao Feng's body was starting to slowly dim between flashing lights. The imagery of heaven and earth was starting to disappear. So, this is a sacred body? Zhao Feng felt his current body and found that it was extremely profound. The compatibility between his body, his sacred power, and his soul was very high. It was also connected to heaven and earth and could reduce all damage. Boom. Zhao Feng leapt into the air and turned into a bolt of scarlet lighting that shot toward Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss. Damn it, he managed to break through. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss' face was green, and his eyes bulged in anger. He didn't expect Nan Gongsheng to be hiding in the Hall of Gods as well, and he never expected Zhao Feng's eye to release a golden light and instantly destroy his clone at the last moment. Bam! Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss sent out a giant ball of black sacred power that landed on Nan Gongsheng's body. Boom! Nan Gongsheng spat out a mouthful of blood as his eyes returned to normal. After all, he was only at the initial stages of the mystic light realm. Even if he let the evil god mental thought body take over his body and use a wisp of the evil god's power, he was still no match for Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss, who had lived for dozens of millennia. Nan Gongsheng, thank you. A calm sacred power caught Nan Gongsheng and gently put him down. Zhao Feng knew that Nan Gongsheng had tried so hard because he wanted to repay the favor from the divine illusion dimension. Zhao Feng had helped Nan Gongsheng a lot and even allowed him to obtain the power of the evil god in the end. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss, now that you're here, don't think about leaving. Zhao Feng opened his eyes and looked at Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss. The moment he broke through to the mystic light realm, the unusualness of his left eye also ended. Zhao Feng, you think that you're my match just because you broke through to the mystic light realm? Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss laughed. Now that everything had reached this stage already, he couldn't turn back or else he and Nine Darkness Palace would become a laughingstock. Still, Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss was on guard against Zhao Feng. He would run away the instant Zhao Feng took out the god-slaying arrow. I also want to see how strong a late-stage mystic light realm Sacred Lord is. Zhao Feng's mouth curled upward. At this moment in time, Zhao Feng felt like he could control all the laws of heaven and earth. He could affect a certain area and unleash deadly power. Zhao Feng hadn't adapted to the sudden increase in power and control over the laws. Even though Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss was too strong, Zhao Feng needed a powerful opponent to consolidate and train himself against. Do you not know how death is written after breaking through to the mystic light realm? Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss laughed at Zhao Feng's arrogance. Zhao Feng was indeed strong, but he only just become a Sacred Lord and most likely wasn't familiar with the techniques and powers of Sacred Lords. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss wouldn't be scared even if Zhao Feng managed to consolidate his cultivation. Shoo! With a flash of light, a beam of black light shot toward Zhao Feng. Whoosh! 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 Countless tentacles appeared around Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss when Zhao Feng approached. They shot toward Zhao Feng, and the projection of a little world locked onto Zhao Feng as well. Boom. Shu tilde. Zhao Feng circulated the sacred lightning body and became taller. Countless red symbols of lightning glittered, and golden light sparkled from his body. When one looked at him, one would think Zhao Feng was a golden god of war. After becoming a sacred lord, Zhao Feng's sacred lightning body and his sacred body had combined, and all his aspects became stronger. Shu. Zhao Feng evaded most of Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss attacks by using the lightning wings flying technique and the powerful inspection ability of his left eye. Sky-destroying Sacred Lightning Palm. Zhao Feng circulated his wind lightning sacred power and unleashed a scarlet golden palm of lightning that contained Zhao Feng's laws and intents. Boom. The tentacles around Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss clashed with the sacred lightning palm and released a storm of destruction. This palm technique. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss expression became grim. His tentacle attacks had been stopped by this palm. Wang tilde. The power of lightning from the sacred lightning palm eroded the air. It can even affect my little world? Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss expression changed. Zhao Feng's palm was not simple. Demonic light destruction. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss roared as all the tentacles gathered and attacked one certain spot. Boom. Peng. The tentacles instantly pierced through Zhao Feng's sacred lightning palm and continued shooting toward Zhao Feng. Physical force lightning domain. Zhao Feng's sacred lightning body instantly released terrifying power of lightning. Everything within a couple dozen miles fell into a bombardment of lightning and gravitational force. At the same time, a layer of lightning merged with the wind lightning sacred power, forming an ancient scarlet golden barrier around Zhao Feng. Boom. Shu tilde. Zhao Feng circulated his mystic light sacred power at full force and merged the power within his physical force lightning domain into his sacred lightning protection. Boom. Zhao Feng was pushed back several miles by Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss technique. The barrier around him shattered and released a chaotic recoiling force, but that force was blocked by the tentacles before it could arrive. You want to fight against a late-stage Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lord with just this skill level? Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss couldn't help but laugh. Zhao Feng was several times stronger than normal initial stage Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lords after breaking through to the Mystic Light Realm, but he was still not a match. You're getting too happy too early. A faint smile appeared on Zhao Feng's face. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss expression froze as he felt that something was wrong and quickly scanned around with his divine sense. Old Monster Shoes and Supreme Emperor Dark Knight's opponents were suddenly defeated. The two of them then helped Duke Nanfeng and Sacred Lord Star Demon deal with Sacred Lord Evil Caster and Sacred Lord Wicked Truth. In that moment just now when Zhao Feng unleashed his attack against Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss, he was paying some attention to Old Monster Shoe and Supreme Emperor Dark Knight. He circulated his eye intent to help them in secret and even used a Soul Eye Bloodline technique at the critical moment. Since Zhao Feng had set the Dark Heart Seal in both Old Monster Shoe and Supreme Emperor Dark Knight, it wasn't hard for him to do this. Zhao Feng, you. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss gritted his teeth in anger and was about to explode from rage. A Sacred Lord that just broke through wasn't even using his full attention when fighting with him? Chaotic dance of beasts and demons. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss roared as he spread his arms, and the sacred power whirlpool within his body started to quickly spin. An even stronger sacred power appeared. Whoosh! Countless black tentacles condensed around Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss. Each one of them seemed to be a fearsome monster. Not good, Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss is using his ultimate techniques now. Zhao Feng had a solemn expression. He just broke through, and his cultivation wasn't steady yet. Even if he had time to consolidate his cultivation, he would most likely still be at a disadvantage if he fought with Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss head-on. Wang tilde boom. Boom. Zhao Feng instantly released the projection of his little world of wind lightning in the physical force lightning domain to weaken the force of Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss attack. Zhao Feng, I'm here. Nan Gongsheng's cold voice sounded behind Zhao Feng. Chapter 1053, Earth Demon Cult. Just as Zhao Feng was facing pressure that he had never felt before. Zhao Feng, I'm here. Nan Gongsheng's cold voice sounded behind Zhao Feng. Whoosh! Nan Gongsheng arrived next to Zhao Feng, and they stood side by side. Nan Gongsheng had been severely injured a moment ago after using so much power, but the recovery speed of Sacred Lords was extremely fast, and the evil god inheritance that Nan Gongsheng obtained probably had many recovery techniques. The most important thing was that they were fighting against 9 Darkness Palace. Nan Gongsheng wasn't willing to just lie down and watch. Great. Zhao Feng's expression turned serious. Wang tilde. A large source of purple and blood-colored divine light spread behind Nan Gongsheng's back and filled the air as it clashed with Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss Little World projection. Damn it, these 2 brats. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss gritted his teeth. Zhao Feng's little world of wind lightning was already not simple, it contained a large amount of ancient power that he had comprehended from the storm in the ancient dream realm. On the other hand, Nan Gongsheng's little world had merged with the evil god crystal and had the power of the evil god. It was even more powerful and wicked. When the little world projection of these 2 powers combined, it managed to actually gain the upper hand against Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss Little World projection. Hand of the Evil Sky. 2 purple and blood-colored hands suddenly formed around Nan Gongsheng's arms. Red flower tattoos extended across it. Boom. Nan Gongsheng waved his arms and destroyed countless tentacles. Zhao Feng didn't show any signs of weakness either. With the protection of his little world, he used the lightning wings flying technique and destroyed all of the other tentacles nearby. Boom. Boom. The combined force of Zhao Feng and Nan Gongsheng managed to break through Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss chaotic dance of beasts and demons. They then pincer attacked Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss. You 2 are courting death. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss had an enraged expression as he circulated his demonic Tao mystic light sacred power and clashed against with Zhao Feng and Nan Gongsheng. Peng. Boom. Zhao Feng's sacred lightning body blocked Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss attack. Although he was slightly injured, he quickly recovered. On the other hand, Nan Gongsheng's situation was a bit worse. He hadn't fully recovered from before, and now he was even more injured. What powerful mystic light sacred power! Zhao Feng had a deep gaze. The difference between those at the initial stages of the mystic light realm and the late stages of the mystic light realm was rather big. When one's mystic light sacred power became stronger, their sacred bodies also became stronger. This meant that, even though Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss hadn't cultivated any body strengthening techniques, his recovery speed was only a little bit weaker than Zhao Feng's. Wind Lightning Eye Flame. A large amount of eye bloodline power and fire surged from Zhao Feng's left eye. Purple and gold light spun, and white gold god tribulation lightning flashed. Whoosh. A completely transparent purple and gold lightning fire with the destructive aura of God Tribulation lightning exploded onto Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss head. Zhao Feng's Wind Lightning Eye Flame was a pure soul attack that was based on the God Tribulation lightning, which he used because he knew physical attacks couldn't damage Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss. Zhao Feng's soul intent had also been refined after he broke through to the Mystic Light Realm. Although his soul intent was only comparable to the early stages of the Mystic Light Realm, he was able to threaten Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss with his soul eye bloodline techniques and the God Tribulation lightning. Boom. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss felt 10,000 bolts of lightning boom down on his soul. The power of God Tribulation lightning within the soul flame continued to burn. Whoosh. Whoosh. Zhao Feng and Nan Gongsheng used this chance to attack. Devil Sky Hand. Nan Gongsheng combined the 2 hands of the Evil Sky into one and smacked down with the Devil Sky Hand. Shoo. Several marks were left behind on Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss sacred body by Nan Gongsheng's attack. His mystic light sacred power contained the power of the evil god, which was extremely destructive against anything and everything. It also slowed down the opponent's recovery speed. Zhao Feng circulated the power of ancient lightning within his sacred lightning body and unleashed several scarlet golden mountains of lightning that crushed toward Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss. On the other side, Sacred Lord Evil Caster and Sacred Lord Wicked Truth were defeated. Although they were both at the early stages of the Mystic Light Realm and were very strong, they weren't a match for so many Sacred Lords. Zhao Feng, we're here. Sacred Lord Star Demon, Duke Nanfeng, Old Monster Shu, Supreme Emperor Dark Knight, and company immediately arrived after defeating Sacred Lord Evil Caster and Sacred Lord Wicked Truth. Peng. Boom. Bam. A wave of mystic light sacred power attacks landed on Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss. Damn it. Zhao Feng. Nan Gongsheng. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss face was pale white. No matter how strong he was, he wouldn't be a match against so many sacred lords. Furthermore, after taking Nan Gongsheng's attack, the wisp of the evil god's power had damaged him, making his injuries even harder to recover from. Boom. Hu tilde. The tentacles around Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss stopped the attacks and pushed his body away. Whoosh. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss turned into a ball of black light and sped off. The tentacles behind him released a surge of black mystic light sacred power that increased Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss speed dramatically. Zhao Feng focused his eyes, and a faint undulation of mental energy flashed by as Zhao Feng left a mark of the God Eye on Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss. Why would he let Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss escape? If it wasn't for the fact that Nan Gongsheng was present and Zhao Feng's left eye had suddenly evolved, the Hall of Gods and Zhao Feng might have been destroyed by Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss today. Skylocking Bow. A dark silver bow suddenly appeared in Zhao Feng's hand, and a scarlet golden arrow formed from sacred light condensed and shot through the air. The next instant, the arrow of light pierced through space and went directly through Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss' chest. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss figure stopped as he circulated his mystic light sacred power to destroy the arrow before continuing to fly. Bai Kuang Yue, Supreme Emperor Dark Knight, the two of you are responsible for cleaning up. Lock those 2 Nine Darkness Palace Sacred Lords and all the members of Dark Skygate and the Black Radiant clan away. Zhao Feng said in a rush. Wang tilde whoosh. A pair of golden red wings that could summon the power of wind lightning from heaven and earth formed behind Zhao Feng's back. Zhao Feng's figure flashed as he began chasing after Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss. Zhao Feng's actually chasing after Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss? Sacred Lord Star Demon was stunned. From his perspective, it was already enough that they managed to defeat Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss and send him running. If Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss wanted to run, none of the Sacred Lords here would be able to catch up. This meant that Zhao Feng would be the only person chasing after him, and that was too dangerous. Zhao Feng, be careful. Duke Ninfeng also disagreed with Zhao Feng chasing after Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss. Although Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss had been injured to a certain degree from their attacks, he was still a Sacred Lord of the Demonic Tao at the late stages of the Mystic Light Realm. He was extremely strong and cunning. Lock them all up. Bai Kuang Yue ordered, and many experts flew out from the Hall of Gods and used secret techniques to capture all the comrades and subordinates of Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss. Duke, please report this to the Imperials. Bai Kuang Yue arrived before Duke Ninfeng and said respectively. Sure. Duke Ninfeng replied. Zhao Feng chasing after Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss and capturing all these members of Nine Darkness Palace, Dark Skygate, and the Black Radiant clan would definitely enrage Nine Darkness Palace. Only by reporting this to the Imperials and letting the Grand Imperial Hall speak would Nine Darkness Palace be forced to stop. After all, the Lord Dynasty was currently at war, and the situation was bad. Being a peak 3-star power of the Lord Dynasty, Nine Darkness Palace attacking another 3-star power was the same as weakening the Lord Dynasty's strength. The Grand Imperial Hall would definitely stop this. In the clouds, one black and one red beam of sacred power were speeding across heaven and earth. Whoosh! Zhao Feng occasionally pulled back his bowstring and released arrows of sacred light that contained the power of God Tribulation Lightning. Bam! The next instant, another arrow of light pierced through Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss' chest. This junior has managed to control so much God Tribulation Lightning? Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss cried bitterly in his heart. He was extremely excited to see Zhao Feng chase after him and prepared to secretly recover his injuries, then kill Zhao Feng at the critical moment. However, Zhao Feng kept on using the skylocking bow and releasing arrows that contained the power of God Tribulation Lightning, leaving him with injuries that took a long time to recover from. At the beginning, Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss might have had the advantage if he tried to kill Zhao Feng directly, but now his situation was only becoming worse and worse. Hu tilde shu tilde. Zhao Feng kept testing out how to use Mystic Light Sacred Power as he chased after Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss, which meant that the power of his arrows was becoming stronger and stronger. Mystic Light Sacred Power contains its own laws and intents, and it can quickly gather the laws of heaven and earth. The scarlet golden wings behind Zhao Feng's back suddenly created a storm of lightning and boosted his speed. Boom! 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 When Zhao Feng got close enough to Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss, he used a soul attack, and the power of God Tribulation Lightning once again descended on Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss' soul. Zhao Feng was extremely wary against Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss and would use the God Tribulation Lightning whenever he had the chance. Zhao Feng, you will regret this. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss roared as he burned his mystic light sacred power and sped off into the distance. He, I don't know whether I will regret this or not in the future, but I'll make you regret it right now. The scarlet wings of lightning behind Zhao Feng's back released a wave of bright sacred power that summoned the laws of heaven and earth. Lightning wings spatial flash. Zhao Feng turned into a streak of red light that sped across heaven and earth. The light then merged into space and immediately flew several dozen thousand miles. Zhao Feng's eyes suddenly turned toward a certain direction as he was about to catch up to Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss. Ha ha ha. Zhao Feng, you're definitely dead now. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss slowed down and looked at Zhao Feng. Boom. The sky became dark, and a figure in dark brown arrived next to Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss. The instant this figure in dark brown appeared, the world became dark. Absolute laws seemed to control heaven and earth and instantly suppressed Zhao Feng. At this instant, Zhao Feng felt that his mystic light sacred power was unable to connect to any law of heaven and earth. It was as if heaven and earth was being controlled by this person in dark brown. Zhao Feng had felt this sensation once before when the Crown Prince trial ended. Zhao Feng was in the Imperial Palace when Sacred King Feather Spirit caught an assassin. This was the type of absolute power he had displayed. I didn't expect to cross an entire province chasing Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss. This place seems to be the territory of the Earth Demon cult. Zhao Feng thought for a while and concluded. When chasing after Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss, Zhao Feng had been immersed in testing out his mystic light sacred power. Furthermore, after he became a Sacred Lord, his flying speed had increased dramatically, and he had unknowingly traveled so far. Demonic Abyss, I didn't expect a junior at the initial stages of the mystic light realm would be the one to chase you to here. The figure in dark brown scanned their eyes faintly over Zhao Feng. I was attacked by multiple Sacred Lords before and was heavily injured. Sacred King Earth Ghost, quickly kill him. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss gave an awkward laugh before looking coldly at Zhao Feng. The direction that he decided to run was where the Earth Demon cult was located. When Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss had reached a certain distance from the Earth Demon cult, he sent some information out. The Earth Demon cult and Nine Darkness Palace had a close relationship. One could call them as allies. This was why the Earth Demon cult decided to help Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss. However, none of them expected Sacred King Earth Ghost, the Grand Elder of the Earth Demon cult, to appear. Chapter 1054, Sacred King Dark Screen. This is a feud between Nine Darkness Palace and me. Is the Earth Demon cult going to join in? Zhao Feng looked at Sacred King Earth Ghost with a confident expression. Sacred King Earth Ghost's eyes focused on Zhao Feng after hearing what he said. All of heaven and earth seemed to listen to him as the invisible power of laws bound Zhao Feng and made him unable to move. Sacred King Earth Ghost didn't put Zhao Feng in his eyes, but what Zhao Feng said made him unhappy. Although the two of them were both Grand Elders of 3-star powers, this was the first time Sacred King Earth Ghost had heard a measly initial stage Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lord speak to him like this. However, Zhao Feng's calm attitude made him become wary. Nine Darkness Palace and Earth Demon cult help each another. Killing an Elder of Nine Darkness Palace is the same as harming the benefits of the Earth Demon cult. Sacred King Earth Ghost slowly said as his voice resounded across heaven and earth and entered Zhao Feng's mind. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss had an ugly expression. He could tell that Sacred King Earth Ghost had been scared by Zhao Feng's calm expression. After all, almost all of the upper echelons in the Lord Dynasty knew that Zhao Feng had obtained 2 god-slaying arrows in the Divine Illusion dimension. Why are you still talking to him? Just kill him. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss immediately said. There was another reason why he headed toward the Earth Demon cult. He hoped that the Earth Demon cult would force Zhao Feng into desperation, so even if Zhao Feng really had a god-slaying arrow left, he would waste it on the Earth Demon cult. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss, Sacred Lord Evil Caster and Sacred Lord Wicked Truth and all the members of Dark Skygate and the Black Radiant clan are in the Hall of Gods. If Nine Darkness Palace wants them back alive, send some people to the Hall of Gods and apologize. Zhao Feng didn't bother with Sacred King Earth Ghost and spoke to Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss had an ugly expression. This whole thing was his idea. If it ended like this, he would be punished. Sacred King Earth Ghost, kill Zhao Feng and I'll give you a 50% cut of the Hall of Gods. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss immediately messaged. Junior, you're too arrogant. Sacred King Earth Ghost revealed a sharp look. The Hall of Gods had managed to expand to such a huge size within a few short years. They were ranked in the front in terms of assassination and intel. Although the overall strength of the Hall of Gods wasn't as strong as the Earth Demon cult, their wealth and resources definitely surpassed what the Earth Demon cult had. This was especially true after the Hall of Gods took out different kinds of unique and special pills. If the Earth Demon cult had a large number of these pills, they would definitely be able to turn a group of prodigies with the most potential into new upper echelon battle powers. Boom. Heaven and earth shook as an invisible force crushed Zhao Feng. Sacred King Earth Ghost didn't even move. With just pure intent, he could control heaven and earth and suppress everything. The Earth Demon cult really doesn't know what's good for them. Zhao Feng had a cold expression. He originally just wanted to severely injure Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss, then use the hostages to exchange for a bunch of resources from Nine Darkness Palace. However, he just had to meet Sacred King Earth Ghost halfway. There was nothing he could do. Just when Zhao Feng was about to let go of Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss, Sacred King Earth Ghost attacked. It was obvious that Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss offer had tempted him. Humph, do you not know how high the heavens are and how thick the earth is after becoming a Sacred Lord? Sacred King Earth Ghost had a cold expression. He had been unhappy with Zhao Feng's attitude and tone for a long time now. Sacred King Earth Ghost waved his hand, and a surge of heaven and earth intent turned into a whirlwind that swept toward Zhao Feng. This dark whirlwind seemed to be able to engulf anything and everything. A forbidden ghost aura was released wherever it went. Skylocking bow. A dark silver bow with mysterious carvings flashed with a silver light as it suddenly appeared in Zhao Feng's hand. A dark golden arrow appeared in Zhao Feng's other hand. Zhao Feng immediately circulated his mystic light sacred power into this dark golden arrow. Wang tilde whoosh. A terrifying dark golden divine light appeared along with the image of an arrow several hundred yards long. Shoo. The intent unleashed by Sacred King Earth Ghost was instantly destroyed by the piercing power of the dark golden arrow. Is that the God-slaying arrow? Fear instantly appeared on Sacred King Earth Ghost's expression, who was just acting all high and mighty. He really had another God-slaying arrow. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss expression also turned pale white in fright. Whoosh. Whoosh. They both immediately burned their mystic light sacred power and used escaping techniques to run in two different directions. They had both been on guard against Zhao Feng, so they managed to react the instant Zhao Feng took out the sky-locking bow and arrow. Even normal sacred lords would need a while to muster the power needed to unleash a substandard god weapon such as the God-slaying arrow. You run pretty fast. Zhao Feng revealed a playful smile as he locked onto Sacred King Earth Ghost and pulled back the bowstring. Wang. The instant the bowstring was pulled back, the image of the dark golden arrow became more refined, and countless laws and intents appeared on it. Sacred King Earth Ghost felt his heart tighten. At this instant, he felt like a certain power had locked onto him. He would be unable to escape no matter how he ran. Zhao Feng, the one you want to kill is Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss. Sacred King Earth Ghost exclaimed. On the other side, Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss let out a breath before laughing coldly. Zhao Feng, just wait to die after using that God-slaying arrow. Bang tilde whoosh. The image of a large golden light pierced through heaven and earth. A metallic storm with a terrifying metal elemental power sped through several dozen miles and shot toward Sacred King Earth Ghost. Boom. A terrifying storm of destruction clashed with the power of the ghost Dao. One's heart would shake when they looked at this scene from afar. Wait, the power of this god-slaying arrow? Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss felt that something was wrong. He could feel the power contained within the storm of destruction from very far away. It was weaker than expected, and the element contained within it was different from what he thought. Whoosh. Sacred King Earth Ghost charged out from the storm of destruction and glared at Zhao Feng with killing intent. That brat was just scaring me. That wasn't even the god-slaying arrow. Sacred King Earth Ghost was enraged and gave off a forceful ghost aura. It was as if he was a god of ghosts from hell. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss also paused for a moment before becoming extremely angry. Zhao Feng didn't even have a god-slaying arrow, he just pretended he had one in order to scare them. Zhao Feng's voice sounded just as Sacred King Earth Ghost was about to attack once more. Sacred King Earth Ghost, that was just a warning that I am giving you. Zhao Feng's voice was cold as he looked at Sacred King Earth Ghost with a faint smile. Warning. Sacred King Earth Ghost and Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss froze. In reality, Although the arrow just now hadn't killed Sacred King Earth Ghost and it seemed like he wasn't very injured, Zhao Feng knew that Sacred King Earth Ghost's soul had been severely injured. Zhao Feng had thought it through when creating the substandard god-slaying arrows back then. Of the 3 arrows, one was bright gold while the other 2 were dark gold. They had completely different elements to them. The bright golden arrow focused on the physical dimension while the dark golden arrows focused on the soul. However, it wasn't likely for a substandard god-slaying arrow to kill a sacred king. Could this brat have more of those arrows? Or does he really have the true god-slaying arrow but didn't use it? Sacred King Earth Ghost's body froze, and he almost entered a frenzy. He was a sacred king. When had he ever been humiliated like this before? But if Zhao Feng really had more of those arrows or the real god-slaying arrow, then he might really die. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss was also slightly regretful about staying behind. Since the relationship between the Earth Demon Cult and Nine Darkness Palace is so good, the Earth Demon Cult can come with Nine Darkness Palace to apologize to the Hall of Gods. Zhao Feng's words broke the silence. Seeing that Zhao Feng was so forceful, Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss and the severely injured Sacred King Earth Ghost were even more sure that Zhao Feng had some sort of hidden card. They looked at each other and left without saying anything else. I shouldn't have helped that brat Demonic Abyss. Sigh. Sacred King Earth Ghost sighed in his heart, but there was nothing he could do. Although Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss had pulled him down, he didn't dare to go to Nine Darkness Palace and reason with them. Zhao Feng sent them away with his eyes. Senior, it's time to appear. Zhao Feng looked at the sky, and space started to twist as a figure appeared. Zhao Feng had a deep understanding of Black Screen Corner and instantly recognized this elder. It was Sacred King Dark Screen, the Grand Elder of Black Screen Corner. Whoosh! The sky nearby darkened once more as limitless laws and intents filled the air. As expected of the Grand Elder of the Hall of Gods. You are the junior with the most potential that I have ever seen. Sacred King Dark Screen stroked his beard as he looked at Zhao Feng. Senior probably didn't follow me all the way here just to say that, right? Zhao Feng's expression stayed the same as he looked at Sacred King Dark Screen with a deep gaze. Zhao Feng's God's spiritual eye found Sacred King Dark Screen's existence back in the Hall of Gods. However, since the situation back then wasn't very good, Zhao Feng didn't tell anyone that Sacred King Dark Screen was there. However, Zhao Feng didn't expect Sacred King Dark Screen to follow him when he chased after Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss. Zhao Feng admired Sacred King Dark Screen's patience, but he was also on guard against him. Ha ha ha. I'm bored and wanted to see the strength of the Grand Elder of the Hall of Gods. Sacred King Dark Screen laughed. In reality, Sacred King Dark Screen was shocked. He didn't expect Zhao Feng to have found him all the way back at the Hall of Gods. No one would believe that an initial stage Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lord discovered a Sacred King expert that specialized in hiding. Little friend Zhao Feng, over the past, the fame of the Silence Assassination Division has surpassed Black Screen Corner. I came because I want a few things from the Hall of Gods, Sacred King Dark Screen said slowly. Zhao Feng's expression remained the same as he looked at Sacred King Dark Screen and waited for what he was going to say next. One of the reasons he used the replica god-slaying arrow just now was because he wanted to frighten Sacred King Dark Screen as well. After all, the Silence Assassination Division had been using Black Screen Corner's name to rise, and as a Sacred King Dark Screen obviously wouldn't be too respectful to Zhao Feng. I heard that the Hall of Gods has a unique pill named the Purifying Blood Sacred Spirit Pill. Coincidentally, my grandson is also breaking through to the Mystic Light Realm, but he isn't very confident, so I just wanted to ask for some. Sacred King Dark Screen finally said everything. The reason Sacred King Dark Screen hid in darkness and followed Zhao Feng was because he wanted to see the final result between Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss and Zhao Feng. If Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss won and Sacred King Dark Screen suddenly appeared, he would be able to obtain some benefits. It would have been even better if both sides were severely injured. Sacred King Dark Screen would have been able to obtain a bunch of benefits from both sides. However, he didn't expect Zhao Feng to be the one at the advantage all the way through. Zhao Feng even managed to scare away Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss and Sacred Lord Earth Ghost and frighten him at the same time. To a certain degree, the Silence Assassination Division could only expand to such a level because of Black Screen Corner. The Hall of Gods can give some gifts to Black Screen Corner, Zhao Feng said with a faint smile. Without a doubt, Sacred King Dark Screen was a Sacred King even stronger than Sacred King Earth Ghost. Zhao Feng had no chances of winning unless he used the real god-slaying arrow. However, at this moment, Sacred King Dark Screen showed no signs of threatening him and didn't appear to be too greedy, so Zhao Feng obviously wouldn't be stingy about a few purifying blood sacred spirit pills. Chapter 1055, Disintegration and Duplication. The purifying blood sacred spirit pill was created with the bloodlines of the golden-winged scarlet tigers and the pond water, which Zhao Feng had plenty of. Besides, after breaking through to the mystic light realm, the effect of those two resources were drastically weaker for him. If that's the case, I'll go back to Black Screen Corner and wait for it. Sacred King Dark Screen deeply glanced at Zhao Feng before merging into space and disappearing. Black Screen Corner wouldn't attack another force rashly. Furthermore, Sacred King Dark Screen was looking forward to the performance of the Hall of Gods. If the Hall of Gods managed to survive despite Nine Darkness Palace trying to suppress it, it would become another peak force in the continent. Forming a good bond with such a force might bring limitless benefits in the future. Who? Zhao Feng let out a long breath after Sacred King Dark Screen left. Even though he had become a sacred lord, he didn't believe that he could fight against a sacred king. Whoosh! Zhao Feng waved the arm guard, and his figure started to dim as a layer of silver flashed around him. After breaking through the mystic light realm, Zhao Feng believed that he could use the misty spatial world to teleport even greater distances. This time, Zhao Feng directly teleported over 4 cities. Shoo! Zhao Feng's figure slowly appeared as silver light flashed, and the terrifying pressure of a sacred lord caused heaven and earth to change color. Sacred Lord. A peak-tier king next to Zhao Feng half knelt on the ground. Their bloodline and true yuan were completely suppressed, and they were unable to move at all. I haven't completely familiarized myself with my power yet, Zhao Feng said gently. I can still increase the range of my teleportation. Zhao Feng didn't bother with the person next to him, he just waved his arm once again. His figure then disappeared within an undulation of space. The next instant, Zhao Feng returned to the Hall of Gods. This time, Zhao Feng teleported the distance of an entire province and used up all his mystic light sacred power. From the looks of it, I'll be able to teleport the distance of an entire province every time. Zhao Feng was overjoyed. Breaking through to the mystic light realm made everything much easier for him. A substandard god item was indeed different, it basically meant that Zhao Feng was carrying a teleportation array around with him at all times. At this moment, the people that were invited here by Bai Kuang Yue to help the Hall of Gods were still here. Grand Elder. Zhao Feng. Everyone stood up and looked at Zhao Feng in shock. Almost 10 days had passed since Zhao Feng chased after Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss, and everyone was slightly worried. Zhao Feng walked to the front with a calm expression and sat down. He had already understood part of the situation from Bai Kuang Yue. Duke Nanfeng was already heading toward the Imperial Palace to report the situation to the Grand Imperial Hall. Bai Kuang Yue did that on her own accord, and Zhao Feng was very satisfied. The reason he dared to chase after Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss and severely injure him was because he was planning to report the situation to the Grand Imperial Hall afterward. He believed that the Grand Imperial Hall wouldn't want to see an internal struggle when the Lord dynasty was at war. Nine Darkness Palace was a peak 3-star force, and the Hall of Gods could be considered 3.5 stars. Once these two forces clashed, countless smaller forces would be involved as well, causing heavy casualties to the Great Gon Lord dynasty. I thank all of you for helping the Hall of Gods. I shall remember this. Now that Zhao Feng had broken through to the mystic light realm, he had more power. Now that we are reporting this to the Grand Imperial Hall, Nine Darkness Palace won't be able to do anything to the Hall of Gods for a while. This is the time for the Hall of Gods to expand, Bai Kuang Yue stood up and slowly said. At the same time, she told everyone the plan for expansion. Most of those present were either subordinate forces of the Hall of Gods or people that had a good relationship with the Hall of Gods. Zhao Feng left with Sacred Lord Star Demon after Bai Kuang Yue finished her talk. Zhao Feng, you showed off this time. Sacred Lord Star Demon joked. Zhao Feng chased after Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss for almost 10 days and passed by an entire province. The entire continent knew about this. The names of Zhao Feng and the Hall of Gods reached a pinnacle, so this was the best chance for the Hall of Gods to expand. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss is just one of the upper echelon members of Nine Darkness Palace. Zhao Feng shook his head. The Hall of Gods was nowhere near ready to fight back against Nine Darkness Palace, which had 1,000,000 years of foundation. One had to know that Nine Darkness Palace was a 4-star power at its peak. Zhao Feng didn't continue to pursue Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss because his confidence hadn't reached that level yet. Senior Star Demon, I want to talk to you about the second level of the soul-splitting technique. Zhao Feng told Sacred Lord Star Demon what his intentions were. Zhao Feng had already analyzed the second level of the soul-splitting technique, but he wasn't very confident, so he wanted Sacred Lord Star Demon to help him. Zhao Feng returned to the Forbidden Grounds at the back of the Hall of Gods after giving the second level of the soul-splitting technique to Sacred Lord Star Demon. The latter also needed time to analyze it. Zhao Feng immediately entered the dimension of his left eye after returning to the hall. When breaking through to the Mystic Light Realm, the mysterious golden ball in the dimension of his left eye had evolved. It was because of this that Zhao Feng managed to survive at the critical moment. This is? Zhao Feng stopped thinking and stared at the item above the mysterious golden ball in utter disbelief. Originally, there was nothing in the dimension of his left eye apart from the mysterious golden ball and the demigod head. However, there were now 2 demigod heads floating in the air above the mysterious golden ball. The shape of the 2 heads was the complete same. The power of God Tribulation Lightning in them was the exact same as well. Why did a demigod head containing God Tribulation Lightning appear out of nowhere? Zhao Feng was stunned. Although an extra demigod head meant an extra 5% of total God Tribulation Lightning, which was a good thing, all of this was too weird. Zhao Feng started to think about what happened when his eye evolved. Countless golden ripples were released from the mysterious golden ball, which passed completely through the demigod head. After that, the structure of the atoms in the demigod head were completely analyzed and recorded into the mysterious golden ball. A desolate power then appeared from the mysterious golden ball and slowly turned into a twisting black matter, and then finally into another demigod head. Could it be? Zhao Feng suddenly thought of something and quickly returned his consciousness back into his body. Whoosh! Zhao Feng took out a normal Earth-grade weapon from the misty spatial world. Whoosh! Zhao Feng's left eye locked onto this Earth-grade weapon and absorbed it into its dimension. His consciousness then entered the dimension of his left eye as well. Zhao Feng moved the 2 demigod heads to the side and put the Earth-grade weapon above the mysterious golden ball. Zhao Feng circulated his intent and carefully touched the mysterious golden ball with it. Wang tilde Shua. The mysterious golden ball started to spin, and countless golden ripples were released from it. They then passed through the Earth-grade weapon. A desolate aura then slowly appeared from the mysterious golden ball and condensed in the air. Wang tilde Hu. The black matter then started to twist, and the complete Earth-grade weapon appeared above the mysterious golden ball several hours later. It can really duplicate physical objects? Zhao Feng was stunned. This scene confirmed his guesses. Zhao Feng's consciousness then returned back to his body. Part of my eye intent and true yuan have been used up. Zhao Feng concluded. From the looks of it, when he duplicated the demigod head, he hadn't realized anything since he was trying to break through to the mystic light realm. This also explained why the energy from Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss clone was absorbed into the dimension of his left eye. It was because he was duplicating the demigod head and needed power. The evolution managed to give me such an ability? Zhao Feng was completely filled with joy. He could already tell how terrifying this duplication ability was if he could even duplicate the demigod head and the God Tribulation Lightning. Looks like this is the complete ability of the Golden Eye, Zhao Feng said in a serious tone. Even though it had the power of disintegration, the supportive abilities of the Golden Eye weren't too strong. However, it was perfect now with the power of duplication. Zhao Feng was also trying to find the weaknesses of this new ability. Firstly, a lot of time was required. Duplicating the demigod head took almost 10 days. Although an Earth-grade weapon only took a couple hours, Zhao Feng only used Heaven-grade weapons or Inheritance sacred weapons. Secondly, a lot of energy was used up in duplication. Zhao Feng was in seclusion before, so he didn't sense it, but he came to this conclusion after duplicating the Earth-grade weapon. Zhao Feng realized that Soul Eye bloodline power was used up first before the true yuan in his body. These were both very important to Zhao Feng. If they weren't replenished, it might cause serious harm in the future. But with this duplication ability, I can produce my own cultivation resources. Zhao Feng was stunned and felt incredulous, but there was a trade-off since he needed to spend Soul Eye bloodline power and true yuan to duplicate whatever he needed. Afterward, he would need to spend time or resources to replenish them. I'll put this ability to the side for now. There weren't too many uses in the short term. It was better to figure it out later. What was most important right now was to consolidate his cultivation. Zhao Feng just broke through to the mystic light realm and couldn't completely control his power. He couldn't even fully conceal his aura. Furthermore, the 5 elemental wind lightning technique successfully broke through and reached the 9th level, the Earth of Wind Lightning. Once Zhao Feng started cultivating the Earth of Wind Lightning, his strength would increase by another level. Whoosh! 2 dark yellow crystals appeared in Zhao Feng's hand. They were Earth elemental resources he bought in the Land Province War Hall with his war points. Zhao Feng immediately circulated the Earth of Wind Lightning cultivation method of the 5 elemental wind lightning technique and started to absorb the power of Earth within the resources. Zhao Feng then circulated his 10,000 divine thoughts technique and multitasked, trying to understand the mystic light sacred power and the sacred power whirlpool in his body as well. When one became a sacred lord, the crystal core within their body would shatter and merge with the laws of heaven and earth, turning into a whirlpool of sacred power. At this moment, Zhao Feng's sacred power whirlpool had 4 colors: blue, green, red, and dark yellow. One would change after understanding all the power they had. The process of familiarizing oneself with their new power was extremely long, but since Zhao Feng had the inspection and calculation abilities of his left eye, he only used 1 month to familiarize himself with his power. Eventually, Zhao Feng opened his eyes. At this instant, Zhao Feng felt that his intent could merge into heaven and earth extremely quickly. He could summon the power of nature from heaven and earth extremely easily. This is the true power of the mystic light realm. Sacred light and a dark yellow layer of lightning flashed around Zhao Feng's body as heaven and earth suddenly froze and released a terrifying force of gravity.